Welcome to Ask a Puppy Trainer Show. This is where we answer all of your questions about puppyhood. I'm Bethany.
And I'm Sparky from the Puppy Academy.
If you have a puppy question you need help with, join us live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific time on Instagram or TikTok at the Puppy Academy.
This is where we tackle your toughest training challenges and guide new puppy parents on how to make puppyhood easy.
If you're ready for more in-depth puppy help right now, check out our online school at thepuppyacademy.com to have us personally guide you through every step of puppyhood and in raising a happy, well-mannered pup.
We're excited you're here. And now, let's get to the show.
Hello, everybody. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Nice.
So we're kind of low key. Dulce was good when she was first brought in, and she's starting to get increasingly more nervous. I really do think it's when you started talking, she's a little nervous, and then
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Look, she's like edging off camera.
She was like totally normal 10 seconds later.
Yeah, she was like wagging her cute little tail, and yeah.
Then I said
This is don't say look at this bow. How adorable is this? She's so cute.
Her mommy loves her very much.
She's so cute. She is nervous though. She's starting to shake.
That's what she did last time too. This is her second round. She lasted about 3 minutes last time because she was a little bit nervous and she was in her first week. I think that's escape. I don't think she's ready.
It's really, really mild. Boy, that's crazy. It was really when you just started talking.
Told you.
All right. Well, look how cute she is. We're working with her.
When I did their first lesson, she needed a female to be present in the lesson. When I stood up to work with her, she was like, "Yay, treat!"
Never mind.
And literally went under the couch. Hadn't even worked with her yet. So It's one of those things where every dog's a little bit different. Some dogs have a genetic predisposition. She was on the street for a little bit too, though. So maybe someone was maybe someone was mean to her at some point.
No, that's so rare. It really is. You're starting to sound like a client.
You think so?
Yeah, my dog is aggressive because it was beaten by a man or with a hat, and so he hates hats.
I don't know. She's got some pretty strong triggers. Like Josh could walk in the room just with his deep voice. And she's like happy doing fetch, and it's like, it's the presence of a guy walking in.
Yeah.
So it could be that because we're louder, we're a little bit more like dominant in her speech. It could like feel a little bit suppressive to her because she's very nervous or unsure, or she's a naturally submissive dog. So maybe she wasn't abused, but I just find that usually
little
the little
excessive.
Excessive. Yeah, the little ones tend to get their way into things that they shouldn't. I feel like they kind of just get like a boot from people if they like go into like a work site or something.
Yeah,
yeah,
could be. I won't argue.
Think of how I got Cheyenne.
I won't argue with you there. All right.
I don't know. I'm looking at this like it has a question.
Get on. It does have that one.
This does.
This is episode 241.
Boom.
I'm Bethany. This is Sparky. Did I say that already? Okay.
Maybe.
I've got Instagram. He's got Tickety Talk. Did you open Tickety Talk? All right.
I did open Tickety Talk.
So you guys can ask questions. Please include the age and breed or breed mix
we
of
like
your
the
puppy.
back and forth. So if you throw a question in to even follow up your previous question, we're likely to prioritize it because we like the back and forth.
Yes.
Feels very real. Okay.
Sure.
This is a really fun question because this is someone who's doing everything right, but she's been given advice from other trainers to do something a little different. So let's go over it. And obviously, right, because it was our advice, so we're a little bit biased on that. I just heard yet another puppy trainer say that crates and pens are too confining for puppies and they need to learn freedom in the home because that's where they live. I'm so confused at this point. My 15-week-old puppy does really well in crates for naps and relaxes the pen when I'm doing my own thing around the house. Seems dangerous and impossible to watch. I have a lot of stuff out that my puppy could get into, and she does well when I do the crate and the playpen. So
I have to admit, in America, because that is specific to West, UK too. I'll say UK and the West. It's really uncommon to come across even a force-free positive reinforcement trainer that doesn't recommend crating puppies. Yep. So I don't know what side.
It's downtime.
Yeah,
just sleep. It's downtime.
I don't know what side of the internet you're on, but I just want you to know that that's very unusual. Even if you only want to use food and a harness and you don't even want to use the word no, I know so many trainers that will still use confinement for safety and for potty training for puppies. So I just want you to know.
Say that first word again.
Confinement.
For.
Safety. And potty training.
Yeah, it's not because we're confining the puppy to be mean. It's safety. It's like you can't be with them 24/7. Yeah. They get into stuff. She also wrote, I have a mini dachshund. So and she already does good in the crate, yeah, you're doing everything right. I think every trainer's got a slightly different style, but I would bet a high 90 percentile of positive reinforcement only trainers would also still say crate because they just make crate a positive, and for your dog, it already is a positive. So yeah, keep it
Maybe
up.
you found somebody that lives in Sweden or something where they don't do crates. I don't know, but it's just unusual.
Are there countries that don't allow
Yeah, there's one.
confinement of dogs?
There's one. I believe it's Sweden.
Where they put the dogs in the backyard, confined?
Well, they don't have. They're either confined. Oh, you see what he did there? Confined in the backyard, confined in the house. You're also not allowed to put babies in a crib in Sweden. No, I'm just kidding. That's not true. And you're also not allowed to put horses in a stall. Oh, I'm just kidding. That's not true.
They leave their babies outside for now.
I was just about to say that, and they leave their babies outside in the cold because it's good for them. They do. That's the thing.
I'm aware. I did that with Evie as well, but
It,
it
in the cold.
yeah,
So cruel.
but it doesn't get as cold here. But I did do that, my version of that. But that has nothing to do with the puppy
How
thing.
are we talking about this?
Ricky.
Baby brain. Baby brain.
Right. But anyway, my point is just that crates are really valuable. But I don't know. It's different cultures, different reasons. We can't compare that to the way we live, especially in the city. I can't compare. There's so many training things that I give different advice on for city versus rural.
It's true. Yeah,
And
urban
so-
versus rural is completely different advice.
Yeah.
Having land and not having land.
Yeah. Exactly. So anyway, just leave it at that. You're doing a great job. I hope you're part of a program though. Hey, we happen to have a dog training, puppy training program. You can check out thepuppyacademy.com and check out our online school. It's perfect for the age of this
15
puppy.
weeks?
15
Yeah.
weeks. Yeah. So if you're,
Oh, yeah.
you don't have to do our program, even though it's awesome.
What
You
I
just,
think she does during in the online program, where
Yeah.
it's like how to set up all these different things that build confidence for a younger dog.
Yep.
Your go-to-ground dog. Love that.
because let's just say when we saw mini dachshund, we expected to hear the typical issues we hear with
Screaming in crate, can't get 2 seconds away from the dog. without
reactive,
her-
already
Yeah.
reactive at 15 weeks old. Yeah. But good. Keep it up.
We're like, wow, you have a unicorn. You have a unicorn. Yay.
for now.
For now.
For now.
I got a good one.
Leah's. No.
Oh,
I have
okay.
somebody.
Okay.
We prioritize you. I sound like a
We
salesperson.
do.
All right. Leah has 1205. Hi there. We have a Labradoodle. 1 year and a 5-year-old, a 1-year-old and a 5-year-old. The puppy waits for his brother to eat. They wait till 10 or even noon. Is this okay? They also eat at 6 p.m. So it's so funny. You know, Teddy, the Labradoodle the golden doodle that was just in here, he will not hardly eat in the morning, hardly at all, unless he's had like a fun park session, like a long session.
Yep.
He won't eat in the morning and he'll eat all of his food throughout the night. Typically, I'm very strict and they give it to him for 15 minutes and remove it. But for Teddy, he needs everything to be very calm around him and he waits till the lights are off. So we leave his food in there. We don't normally do that. 15, 20 minutes, we remove bowls from crates. And so he's the one that gets to have his bowl because he will eat everything,
Over a longer period of time.
No,
Once he's off TikTok. We
As
appreciate
usual,
you guys
we
for
appreciate-
having good internet. So we appreciate you.
Okay.
We're back.
I was about to make a joke about TikTok. I'm glad I did it. Okay. So anyway, I've watched him. Sometimes he'll eat it all up and sometimes it's slow. It's like a couple times throughout the night. But my point is, generally speaking, if they're already having this delay in the mornings, 15 minutes and you remove it, and you might just have dogs that want to eat it all at night. Honestly, eating once a day for dogs, usually that aren't puppies, a year is kind of pushing it for me, but eating once a day for dogs is better for them anyway. But, I don't know, a 1-year-old is pushing it. I might still try the twice a day. I'll leave that up to you. If he's already pretty much full size, he's not full development inside, but, I don't know. I would be cautious of that one. What do you think?
We're going to have a long conversation about this later. 'Cause
sure.
I actually completely disagree with that.
Well,
so
I know you do.
I'm not going to give any advice on that.
I know
one
he
until
does. He doesn't agree with the one time a
debate
day.
heavily with Bethany for the next 2 days. Yeah.
Anyway.
You're going to get a phone call tomorrow. Because I'll have more thoughts tonight.
Okay. You also didn't want me to feed raw food with kibble at the same time either, remember?
Because I get processed 2 different speeds.
Yeah, but so does everything in your stomach.
That's true if they're eating junk. Okay, let's move on. Oh, you hear that voice crack? Oh my God, that made me so uncomfortable.
This is already so fun. Okay.
Oh
my
so
God.
you're trolling me.
But here's the thing. No, I'm not. I'm serious, but I am being ornery, but I'm being like, I'm not lying. So here's the thing about Sparky. he wants to be mean to me and get serious and tell me exactly how it is. And he can't in front of you guys. So it's making him very uncomfortable. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all.
Good job, guys. Good job.
What? Oh, you can take this one. What do you think about Purina salmon and rice food for sensitive tummies? I prefer kibble made in the USA. Can I use it for both my boys?
Okay.
You can take that one.
I'm not going to mention anything about the brand because they like to attack me. If I do.
Yeah. We didn't say
I'm
Purina.
not going to say anything about.
We didn't say Purina.
I want you to look at the first 5 ingredients on the back of your bag. That makes up about 85 to 95% of the bag. So, I went for a long time saying that grain-free was the best because all the studies and all the like research showed it was the best until they'd had dogs that had been on that grain-free like food for a long, long time. And they're actually getting way worse heart disease. They're getting heart attacks. They were getting heart failure. So I actually do like a little bit of grain in the food. I don't think it should be within the first 3 ingredients on the bag because that means a very high portion of the food is grain. So I can't rate the food itself, but I will say, look at the first 5 ingredients. Your first 3 should be protein. And they shouldn't be any byproduct. If you have byproduct in there, byproduct is like taking the entire chicken, nails, toes, fingers, bones, everything, throw it in a meat grinder. Meal is when they take the protein and they do something with the protein. It's not bad for them. There's actually a lot of really, really good foods that have a meal in them. The meal is not bad, but obviously the more pure the protein, the better it is. So if it just says chicken, beef, lamb, salmon, that's going to be the best thing for the dog. So first 5 ingredients, I would look at where the ingredients are sourced, make sure they're not using roadkill. There are a lot of pet food companies that outsource roadkill from other countries and other states. It gets frozen, sent to them, and they're making your dog food out of roadkill. So I'd just be looking at all that stuff. Those animals aren't raised on like a clean diet. They're eating whatever's around them. So yeah, I could go so deep into this.
I know. I know you love the food stuff.
I'm going to leave it there.
That's why I gave him the food stuff. He loves it. So, Hey Dudes Doodles says, imagine eating once a day. Okay. So let's just go.
For a dog.
Let's not get into the, no, wait. Wait. You got to remember who my husband is. So I'm not going to get into the weeds in this because it's not that type of show. And, he already said
it could be.
He already said he disagreed with me. Let me just tell you this. When it's not a child, which is why I said I disagree with the 1-year-old dog, I would work harder on that. But when it's not a child and it's an adult, go deep dive into some research on humans and how valuable fasting is for humans. And go look at the people out there and what they look like who eat the nomad once a day. And I'm just gonna leave it at that because like he disagrees with me. Like we can all have our own opinions, but the research is out there. No. All right. So where are we at now? Huffer, 15-week and 2-week-old Cavapoo boys wrestle. They're friendly. It's all open mouth. So Huffer 4, 15-week-old is pretty young. Here's the thing about me with dog play. I really think you got to look at there's 2 main things for me. Look at the other dog and how they feel about it. If the puppy gets overwhelmed, you need to intervene. If the 2-year-old gets overwhelmed, you need to intervene. They still need to know that you're in control when they're playing. It's not the 2 of them in control. And then they can start to build resentment for a couple of hard bites over the course of adolescence. So for me, it's advocating for the dog. He would say the same thing. The second thing for me when it comes to dog play is just what I don't like in my lifestyle. So I have a German Shepherd who plays with a lot of different dogs. And because of that, I have to really manage her pushiness. So she doesn't think she can do that with every dog that she comes across. I still have to manage her. I will forever because it's her personality, but she's happy. But I would never want to nurture that with her pack dogs too much because then she's going to think this is how I play with every dog. So I do manage my dog's play because it gets very intense, very fast because I have a very serious border collie. And then I've got her who's just an intense, fun German Shepherd. So for me, I have my own limits because of my lifestyle with my dog. If my dogs never saw any other dog and it was never going to be an issue, they're not going to be off leash. They're not going to be having play dates. They're not going to do any of that. I'd probably let them play more roughly. And, I let more things go, just to be honest.
To create pack mentality.
Well, I'm not. Pause.
that would be because you have pack mentality
True.
between your own dogs.
Yes.
You would allow them to be a little rougher because they're still going to look to you as the leader that could break it apart.
Yes, they're still going to look to me. Cool. But also, they're not going to take that out on other dogs
because they don't
around them. Because they don't play with other dogs around them. So, and there's some other reasons too, but I just really would take a look at that and what makes you uncomfortable. And as long as you have control over it, you know, I'm pretty open to it. I wouldn't want a 15-week-old to be playing all day long, exhausting themselves, and building arousal-based, stimulation-based drive. I would definitely want to cap that and keep it balanced with lots of one-on-one work with me, stuff like that. What do you think?
Balance and the type of pressure the dogs are doing on each other. So balance for me is like, if I have one dog that's a little bit more dominant, going more on top of the other dog that's a bit more submissive, that submissive dog actually needs me to advocate for him, to step in behind him and get the other dog to back off a little bit. I want that balance in play. I want one dog to be on top and then get off a second later and let the other dog on top. I just had a really cool experience in Temecula over the weekend where I took a dog that I'm doing like a board and train with, or like just boarding in general, and it played with one of my friend's dogs who was 15, 20 times his size. He's a little pug French mix, super cool little dude, but he's got crazy high energy, and he outran and ran ragged the 3-year-old golden retriever lab mix. Like, ran ragged. If I didn't step in, he would have just been chewing on her cheek for an hour after she had laid there and just fully given up. So it was my job to advocate, even though Milo is 1/30th her size and she could just put a paw to put him down. That's not her job. That's mine. If I start teaching my other dog to put down my puppy to settle them, well, that's a really, really big job that needs a lot of training to do efficiently.
Yeah.
So that's my job to advocate. So just going off the older dog and the younger dog, puppies are always going to have more energy. Defend your older dog, advocate for them so they don't feel like they have to beat up on your puppy to get them to submit. Your puppy is one day going to be an adult, maybe even larger than your older dog now. And that puppy will eventually start dominating your older dog if there's pack disorder. So you want to create the pack mentality so they look to you as the leader versus each other, which is like hours and hours of play. Dogs didn't become each other's leaders, whoever's more dominant or whoever is the alpha. That was a long explanation. Sorry, I was trying to talk quick.
It was good.
I lost my breath.
That was good. All right. Diana says 5-month-old Bernedoodle. So we're just kind of getting into adolescence. Very social, wants to jump up on people, say hi when we walk in the park, anywhere really. How do I stop this behavior? He forgets all of his commands when he's excited. I like how she said that. How do I stop this behavior? You know, very few people, sorry, Diana, we're going into the weeds. Very few people.
How could we do that? Us? No.
Want to know like how to do something, sit down. I mean, we just don't come across that much. Most of the time when we do our online school and people show up for like the more one-on-one intimate convo where we take longer to answer questions and it's more like we can see them and we can work with them and their dog. When people show up for that, it is usually my dog, I need to get them to stop doing this. I need to get them to stop doing this. It's always a combination, especially with a 5-month-old, of maintenance and just better handling skills. And I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm going to get into that. But mixed with, you just need a valuable no. Like you just know, you just don't do it. Now I'm going to assume your dog is not nervous of people and it really is just excitement, you know, sociability. You need to have a good no. And there's lots of different ways you can create that depending on the sensitivity of your puppy. And then you need to have better handling with the leash. And so anytime I'm working with the dog and especially like on long lead and I'm a puppy and I'm letting them go out and kind of explore. We have a kids area and we'll have like 10, 15 foot of leash and I'll let the puppy go up to a kid, but I am holding them back. I'm not going to let them jump. I'm going to hold them back at a certain point, and then I'm going to give them a tug of the leash and I'm going to go, come, which I've practiced like 500 times in the yard and in front of my home and in the house. And I'm going to run backwards and give them a piece of food. And then I'm going to do a turn and I'm going to shorten my leash up and manage them a bit better, even if they're pulling because I don't know heel yet. And I'm going to ask the kid, hey, do you want to try to give them a piece of food? Or do you want to pet them calmly? They go, yeah. Okay. And if they don't, they've already run off and been back in the park. And then I'm going to use food and I'm going to use it right in front of even a 5-month-old dog's nose and I'm going to just manage that better. And if I can't manage it and it's out of control, I'm going to give the leash a tug. I'm going to use body blocking. Those are the two things that I would typically do to stop it. What about you?
I missed the first half of that question, so I've been just trying to figure out what the question was this whole time. I still haven't fully gotten it, but I have a feeling your
This happens a
5-month-old dog jumps
up on people at the park and like really social. They go places, and you got to practice in your home too. That's where you're the most controlled.
I think I'm really going to highlight on the practicing in your home. It takes anywhere between 2,000 to 3,000 repetitions that come with food over a short period of like 2 to 4 months for a dog to actually fully.
Bad connection.
It takes a lot of repetitions efficiently in a controlled space for you to then get a good recall outside of your home in an uncontrolled space. So I'm highlighting that. The 500, that might be enough for a lab who's food crazy. You might need 1,000 for a German Shepherd who's not as food crazy and is a little bit more like people interested in watching things. So
a Bernedoodle, to me, if I hear Bernedoodle, I'm like,
is that what the breed was?
Yeah.
Bernedoodle?
I'm like, okay, it's on the larger side.
Mm-hmm.
It's already 5 months old. And sorry, we're having so many connection issues with Instagram. So okay. So Bernedoodle, larger breed, puppy, I'm guessing 5 months old. I can cut that 2,000 to 3,000 repetitions down to 200 to 300 with a valuable no. Now, I don't create that no in the moment of the jumping. I mean, you do need to practice it, but the value behind your no happens in the home, happens jumping up on the window.
Controlled space.
Yeah, jumps up on something like my point is lesser intense, flying out the door without permission, jumping up on me when excited, when we don't work, that's not allowed in the home, jumping up on the back, sliding glass door. Like that's where I'm developing a more valuable no in a controlled setting. And then that way, when I go out into the world, my no is going to have much more value. And yeah, anyway.
I might also condition a pet character inside a little bit. So I have an added element of when the dog hits the end outside, and I've already used pet character before, there's an understanding of what it does as an interrupter. I can have that dog right as he's about to hit the end of that leash and I'm about to give that little tug. I'll also and do a little squirt too. It might just be that extra element to get you that look.
And if you don't like all that, you can do blocking too. And a lot of de-escalation work through blocking and body language takes a little longer, but I think everybody should be doing at least some of that too.
It requires you to know your dog better than someone who's just using a long leash.
And
you have to be able to depict the body language. You have to learn communication a different way.
And we teach how to do that in the online school. Do you want to double check and see if you have any questions on Tickety Talk? Since TikTok is sticking around and we don't have a bad connection.
How do I stop my dog from jumping on people? She thinks everyone is her friend.
Okay, so if you...
Age and breed. We need age and breed.
If you didn't hear any of that, we just went through that with a 5-month-old Bernedoodle. Mm-hmm. And if you missed some of it, this will be uploaded in a day or two on YouTube, the full thing. You'll get part of it on Instagram, but not the full thing. I mean, on whatever.
Hi there. I just had a litter of accidental pups. Anything I should do at this age before they find homes?
Oh my gosh, that's a can of worms. Yeah. I could spend an hour talking about that.
I gotta be honest. No. This is a training. This is a training show.
This is training?
No, it's not for a litter of puppies. Most people aren't gonna have a litter of puppies.
It's training. I want to help you.
We both want to help you, but this is a big can of worms to get into.
Can I pretend it's rapid fire?
Yeah, go.
Okay, rapid fire is you still need to be doing some form of crate training when they get a little bit older. Okay, not right now, but even before
whelping pin still. Sorry.
Even before the 8 to 10 weeks, when they go home, don't send them home before 8 weeks. That would be the other thing. You can go ahead and start doing some crate training. You can even pair them together. Like when you first introduce it, like 2 buddies, they can go into a crate together, 2 buddies, and then you can individualize it by the time they're 8, 9 weeks old. And right now you have a well. So if you're doing wood chips, if you're doing paper, if you're doing puppy pads, if you're doing grass, whatever it is, you've got to communicate that to the owners whenever they take their puppy home and they do their own potty training. Please make sure, since if it's really a 1 week old, please keep an eye on your mama. You might not have a great mama. Your mama might smother the puppies. I mean, you got to keep an eye on her. All mamas are not made the same. We do not all have these amazing biological whatevers that say exactly what to do with the puppy. So keep an eye on her. She might be overly harsh. She might not care about anything and they're abusing her. She might smother them. It happens. Okay. Ask me how I know. And
this live can be rewatched later too.
Yes.
It's recorded.
And yes, you can rewatch it. And finally, make sure you are doing sounds. You can go ahead and be doing sound desensitization on YouTube for certain periods of day. Light. So you turn the lights off and then you have like a screen on. So they're like, they start to get used to the light. You need to hold them upside down. You need to hold them close. You need to hold them on their backs every day. You need to rub your hands all over them and give them like a nice little massage. And you can go ahead and start training as soon as their little eyes start to open and they follow food around. And then I want you to do resiliency training, please, for the love of God. It'll be so much fun. It's only going to be a few weeks of your life. And so when they start to move around, you're going to do like a top to a hard plastic bin. This is not rapid fire.
19 days
It's
old.
just me talking really fast. You're going to flip it upside down and you're going to fill it with water. And then you're going to do another one next to that. That's like hard. And then you're going to have them walk through, I don't know, some cloth. And they're going to have them walk through something else. And then think over, under, through boxes. You know, you can create little tunnels. And then at the end is their food when they start to do like the dry food and water. And so you create this little thing that they can do. If you could do like some sort of pole and have things hanging off of it that don't make noise, and then another one that does make noise. Oh my God, there's just so much you could do to help their future owners and have a lot of fun. You could create a TikTok and you could be famous for all the stuff you're doing with your puppies. Okay, I'm done.
I'll be honest, that was pretty impressive. You did go through quite a bit, and that took you 4 minutes.
That's like, yes!
That was...
You were going to let me do it. I was so sad. I was so excited.
I didn't think you could rapid fire
so
like
excited.
that, Bethany. I'm actually 19 days old today.
19
That's
days.
how old the pups are.
Aw.
Okay. My dog is 2. He is fearful of his kennel. How do I turn the fear into a love for it? Oh, you got a lot.
It's so funny the way you put that.
You got a lot to do. One, you got to get on a schedule. That's the first thing, but that's not going to make him like it. That's just going to make your job easier because you know when to put him in and when to take him out.
Yeah.
And you got to be kind of religious for a dog who really is fearful of a crate, especially if they're barking, whining, and crying a lot. When your dog comes out of the crate, nothing lives in a vacuum. So it's not just what your dog does in the crate that leads to the barking. It's what they do outside of the crate as well.
I thought he called it a love kennel. It just said love for it. Maybe you said love kennel.
No, I said into a love for it.
It wasn't funny. You said it fine. Okay. Sorry. Anyway.
You can't interrupt my train.
I know, but I thought he's like, I love
I
kennel.
almost forgot what I was talking about.
That was funny.
Doesn't just live in a vacuum. So what I do inside the crate, like what my puppy does inside the crate is also being affected what they do outside the crate. So if my dog comes out of the crate, they're just kind of free roaming the whole time that they're out of the crate. We're not giving walk, play, training. We're not adding in that structure. We don't have a leash on our dog to kind of give some like easy boundaries inside the house. And maybe we're giving a lot of affection. These are all going to translate to, I don't know if it's fear in the crate.
Yeah,
a lot of times it's just, they don't want to be in there. So
Yeah,
it's
could
like,
be.
why would I want to go in the crate if I've just been free roaming the house for the last hour and a half, 2 hours? I've been able to do whatever I want. I've been sleeping on the couch. I've been getting cuddles. And then out of nowhere, I have to go into the crate. But I still have a lot of physical energy, a lot of mental energy. I've just been given a lot of cuddles and love and a little bit of play here and there. That's going to be an overstimulated dog in the crate. So that would lead to a lot of barking just because that dog isn't tired. How would I help that? Get him on a crate. Sorry, Instagram went it. All right, so what am I going to do? I'm going to do a schedule. I'm going to check 3 boxes every time my dog comes out of the crate. I'm going to keep them on a leash. I'm going to take them out to go potty the second they come out of the crate. I'm going to make sure before they come out of the crate, I open that door a few inches. They want to bolt out. I close it and say no. They kind of back off a bit. I get that moment of settle in the crate before I invite them out. When I take them out on leash from the second they come out to their potty area. I get my potty, I bring them in. I do walk, I do play, I do training, I do what we call break time, which is like supervised separation, being able to exist with your puppy while still not actually like interacting with them. So they're learning how to be self-sufficient for a short period of time. And not every dog can even handle that. Some dogs need to be working or playing or training or doing something the whole time. And then they just need crate time because they have an inability to settle at a young age. So you got to kind of look at this from a lot of different angles. I don't think it's your dog has fear in the crate necessarily already. It's probably just a dislike for it.
You'll know. There's a way you'll know as long as they're not destructive. Like as long as they don't kill pillows whenever they're having their free time in the house, you can just keep them in the bedroom and shut the door, put a camera on them, see how they do. The first few days they might do fine, but then it builds and builds and builds. And now that bedroom just becomes like the kennel and you start to have the same issues. And so it can take some time fits the room
And I
or
would
just
even-
anything.
I would even put that
House.
even if the dog didn't do well in the bedroom, I would still put that under separation anxiety. What about you? Would you?
Oh yeah, it's
Okay,
separation anxiety.
Yeah.
That's a good point. So yeah, so if he doesn't do well in the bedroom, that's after several days, maybe even a couple of weeks if it's a sensitive dog, and you start to see behavioral issues, that's separation anxiety. I would say you got to get some one-on-one help for this. There's questions I would ask you. Have you tried a bigger crate? Have you tried a smaller crate? I need to see like a 4-minute video of you getting your dog in there on lead with food. What's that look like? Like there's a lot to unpack for this.
To give you an idea, I've done many different training programs for many different dogs. And when I train new dogs that I get, like my puppy, I'm going to do about 10 minutes of play, 15 minutes of training, maybe a like 15 to 20 minute walk, depending on breed, age, and size, and like temperament level. And then I might only do like pets and cuddles. Like I give my dog affection. I'm talking like 2 to 3 minutes of like massaging the neck after the dog is like fully relaxed after a 15-minute training session, some walking. They're exhausted. They're on their place. I'm sitting on the floor with them. But after that, if I get a dog who wants to jump off and get crazy, I have to look at that and say, that was too much affection.
Yeah.
I should have kept it more calm. Or no matter how much affection I give, even the calmest affection possible, still result in a little bit more energy than I want. Well, I can do 5-10 minutes more of training, still has the energy. I'm like, I don't have that capability yet. My puppy isn't mentally mature enough to be able to get affection and then settle right after or go into the crate without barking and really having a fuss. So,
and your 2-year-old dog, I think I read that he was 2 years old. It's kind of on the fence. He's at the end of adolescence going into adulthood. And so you're kind of in murky waters from an emotional, hormonal perspective. Okay. It is time for us to go, but there's a question over here that I can answer really quick. So Tim, I can do it quick. Timber says 2-dog household, 1.5-year-old and a 12-week-old mini Bernedoodle. The young pup is sleeping separately while crate training, sleeps 6 to 8 hours right now. When and how can I introduce back into my room? Well, how is you just do it and you just see how it goes. But the when is, I personally, if you already have a 1.5-year-old dog that's nice and calm in the bedroom, I wouldn't do it until that dog is at least 10 to, come on, TikTok, 10
Instagram.
to Instagram.
TikTok's good.
TikTok's good. 10 to 16 months old to see if they become like a chill dog. Because through adolescence, you're going to get all these peaks. And I'm sorry, but if your wonderful little dog kind of gets a little neurotic during adolescence, you're going to be happy that you just kept them in that room that's consistent and you don't have to go back and try to retrain them. And so they just stay there through all that development. And if they end up being pretty even, pretty level by 1-year-old, then try it and then go back on it real quick if it just doesn't work out. But that's what I would do. See, quick answer.
That's pretty good. It was. I'll give it to you.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. And we'll see you same time, same place.
Thanks for tuning into Ask a Puppy Trainer Show.
We hope you found some advice that you can use to help make puppyhood a little easier.
Don't forget to join us live every Wednesday at 1 p.m. Pacific Time on Instagram or TikTok at The Puppy Academy.
This is where you can get a chance to ask your burning questions in real time. And if you want even more puppy guidance, visit our website at thepuppyacademy.com for info on joining our online puppy school.
If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider subscribing to our podcast and leaving us a review.
These reviews let more people find us and supports us on our mission to help as many puppy parents as possible around the globe.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.